Too bad you couldn't record this whole reading and put it up.
I know, but then it would be on my phone, so it would be like me or my
Okay.
screen or whatever.
Because I'm getting no icon to record.
Yeah, I'm not very technically adept either. So
Okay.
we just do the
But
best we
anyway,
can. Anyway, here we are.
yeah.
Happy New Year, everybody. So I'm going to start the year with a cover poem, a very famous poem by Robert Frost. Stopping by woods on a snowy evening. Whose woods these are, I think I know. His house is in the village, though. He will not see me stopping here to watch his woods fill up with snow. My little horse must think it queer to stop without a farmhouse near, between the woods and frozen lake, the darkest evening of the year. He gives his harness bells a shake to ask if there is some mistake. The only other sounds the sweep of easy wind and downy flake. The woods are lovely, dark, and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. That poem is like so famous. It's like a cliche. It's so famous. Everybody knows that poem. But
Well, like Jack Kerouac said in one of his novels, now I forget, which was cliches are cliches because they're true.
you're right, exactly. Well, I think good old Bob Frost. I mean, his simplicity of his language. His language is really clean, and it's like it has a lot more going on than um, than what made it so famous. You know what I'm saying?
Well, so often brilliance is expressed in simplicity and not complexity.
Absolutely.
So often.
So, thanks for listening to that. Here's a poem of mine. Firebird. From the fire's ashes, the phoenix shall rise again. Phoenix! Life, death, and rebirth. Broken hearts around broken fires. Were you once a druid? I've seen your eyes dark in the firelight. These trees cast weird shadows. Have you seen the shaman? Dancing arms flying, the flames lick about his waist. Chanting, chanting, chanting. I've seen your eyes dark in the firelight. The flame bird rises up, all at once alive. That which dies can live again. Oh, the stories I could tell about countless descents and reascents, but my memories are clouded. There is a lock upon my mind and shackles on my heart. How I wish that I could burst them and rise up again like a phoenix, all golden and red, bathed in flame. The stars were different then, beneath the druid fire. Were you there? Some of that light seems to reflect from your eyes. Could the phoenix leap again out of the fire into the full bloom of memory?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nice. I like it.
Thanks.
All right. Yeah.
I got a message from Claire.
Yeah.
Find
that would be a delight and a privilege for me to do that. Here's a third poem. Moderately. Moderately, moderately, deep in a book she is likely to be, up high in the mountains or down by the sea. There is no other woman like Moderately. Moderately, moderately, walks with the wild, fleeting and free. A magical circle of light contains thee. There is no other woman like Moderately. Moderately, moderately, determined till the last, first out of three. Revolution, experience, the French word is oui. There is no other woman like Moderately. Moderately, moderately, peeling a shrimp or eating a pea. Give her red wine, but don't give her tea. There is no other woman like Moderately. Moderately, moderately, spins tales of fortune on life's mighty tree. Cosmic doors open, for she has the key. There is no other woman like Moderately. Moderately, moderately, lives long, hard lessons, paid a sad, lonely fee. Was homeless in spirit, she's home now, you see. There is no other woman like Moderately. Moderately, moderately, in timeless space, she is smiling at me. When I say it is us, she tells me it's we, and laughs that she's never been moderately.
Let's hear it for Moderately. Moderation was never my forte.
No. Cary Grant said moderation in all things except sex.
Okay. All right. Well, great.
So, okay. Here's a poem. This is called Saxmar the Unholy. The words are their own magic as only magic could do for the full treatment. Nonsense, I ask you, who is the purple cow? The walls grow round ones, bare arms are the toughest. Why is that? Would you call this poetry? It must be called something. Things without names are too revolutionary.
Whoa. I'll just take that home and study it and write a term paper on that one.
What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. So here's the second one. Today is the birthday of J.R.R. Tolkien. Here's a piece that he appears in. It's called A Wonderment with Tolkien. It was in a mountainous town that I found myself, probably in Europe, probably in the Alps, and it was a lovely summer afternoon, warmer than usual for that high in the mountains, even in the fullness of summer. Though I could not say what town it was, I had a feeling I had been there before, either in dream or in waking life. It was so familiar there. Standing in a wide drive before an ancient stone building, a warehouse, or perhaps a garage, I became aware of a man beside me, well-dressed and distinguished-looking in an old-fashioned and tweedy way. Immediately I recognized that he was none other than J.R.R. Tolkien. He nodded politely and said hello and began talking about his great work and his worries that he had not been clear enough in its execution so that the roots of the story were not clear. We stood out in the wide court, looking up the high road where the alpine slopes rose away, narrowing and opening in imagination, like a high pass in both the idealized and realized misty mountains. Tolkien said his vision was bright and clear, and he feared his words had not conveyed it. He turned and walked in out of the sunlight through the big open gate of the stone building into what was a garage where mechanics were servicing vintage automobiles. To Tolkien, I said that I thought his backstory did get more than a bit complicated, especially the appendices, and that as a reader I had never gotten all the way to the bottom of it. His expression looked at first a bit dismayed, then startled, but not unpleased, when I clapped him about the shoulder with a hearty laugh and said he should be proud to have written such a great classic for all time, and that it was a gift and achievement not only for him as author, but for all his readers who were inspired and transformed by his story. And that is where the vision ended.
Have you seen the movie? Have you seen the film of his life?
No, I haven't.
I read his biography or his autobiography, I can't remember, and I said, wow, that was a pretty dull life.
Exactly. It's English professor, you know.
This film is very dramatic
Oh,
about his love life and everything.
okay. Well, he figured they had to have some kind of love life. That's cool. I'll have to look for that one.
J.K. Rowling of Harry Potter fame. She came out virtually out of nowhere also. Wasn't she just a quiet librarian or something, right?
Talk about,
She was homeless at one point.
yeah, she was on the dole.
Oh, okay.
Talk about magic. I mean, that woman wrote some real magic.
Right. Okay. I just heard before Harry Potter, nobody knew who she was as a writer.
They didn't.
And then